That's what you think. Straighten up. Tits up. Hey everybody, welcome to the Felicity Yarn Studio channel. I am Zoe.
I'm Naomi.
This is the Yarn Curator. She's my sister, in case y'all didn't know. And welcome to a very special episode. It is
Thursday,
October something.
the 21st.
21st. Clearly Naomi has come to visit me from Florida, so we thought that we would sit down and record a joint jam podcast for you all.
Podcast day.
We're going to SAFF tomorrow, which is the
Southeastern Animal Fiber Fair.
I think that's right. I'll take your word for it. It's just SAFF to us.
Yes.
So it's kind of the South's answer to Rhinebeck.
The South.
There's a lot of the same vendors and stuff who come through this way. But we might also swing through Black Mountain for
More
their,
yarn.
Black Mountain Yarn Shop's indie extravaganza. We'll see. We'll see if time allows for that. But yeah, so I have a lot of knitting to talk about.
I have travel knitting that I brought.
Yes.
So
it has been a while since I have sat down and recorded. I have a finished object. Have you talked about your?
yes.
Okay. Naomi has a finished object that she's already talked about.
I have a new old finished object.
Yes. And I have some other whips and things to catch y'all up on. This might be a bit of a hot mess.
True fashion.
What are you gonna do? You get double the pleasure, double the fun.
Double the hot mess.
All right. So I think we'll call this first segment the Woolen Pine segment because we both have some.
We both have a test knit and we both have a preview knit.
Yes.
We both have them physically here.
Yes. Let's do the preview knit first.
Okay. So they are releasing an ebook of their more popular patterns in miniature form.
Yes.
Kids versions.
For all your favorite tiny humans, you can now knit them matching jumpers and shawls and other things. They're really stinking cute. Yes, all of them.
Stonking cute.
Yes. Wait, what yarn is this?
This is Nora George.
Oh.
So this is, I think it's called like birthday cake or something like that. I don't know. I bought it on a Ravelry D-stash.
It's really pretty.
It's like an aqua-y mint. I don't know the name of the colorway. Like I said, I bought it on a Ravelry D-stash. But it's got really pretty like hot pink, blue, purple speckles. And my friend Rachel just had a baby boy, and so he is getting a miniature sorrel.
That is too cute.
Yeah, and I'm knitting the 6 month to 1 year old size. So I knit the body. It looks more like
It's
proper
so
infant.
Tiny. It's so tiny.
So yeah, it goes super fast, really quick.
So this is out of fingering weight
This
yarn.
is a fingering weight yarn. I think the OG version is in DK.
DK. Yeah.
And yeah,
those
so
wee little sorrel stitches.
So I am just on, I cast on the sleeve. I'm working that right now, getting ready to do the ribbing. And then I got one more wee sleeve to go. And
that should be done soon.
oh, I think I'll finish it this weekend. But yeah, it's super cute. It's really fun. I thought the dip stitches.
Yes.
Not dip shits. That's what I want to say every time. I thought they were going to be a lot harder to work than they were.
Yeah, you were texting me like, this doesn't make sense.
I got how to do it. I was just trying to do it at like 10:30 at night after a long work day.
Can't take her anywhere.
You guys get unfiltered Naomi when she's with another human. But the first set of dip stitches are askew. I did do the first set wrong, but after that they're beautiful. But you know what? It's for someone.
The baby's not gonna notice.
He will never notice. Mom will not notice.
Yes.
I am unbothered by it.
That's really cute.
Yeah, I really like it.
My Woolen Pine mini knit is, I'm working on a broadleaf jumper for my niece who is about to turn 8, in like a week or two. So this is a brioche pattern. You make 2 of these panels for the front and the back and seam them together and then knit the sleeves. So my nieces were actually here a few weeks ago. That is one of the reasons why I have not recorded recently. So I was able to hold this up to her, and it should fit as is, but just for posterity's sake, I think I'm going to do one more repeat.
Grow into it.
Yeah, so I did the 8 to 10-year-old size with that thought in mind that she can wear this hopefully for more than a year or so. They're fairly tall and lanky kids.
So her little sister can inherit it.
Yes, there is a third one. It'll be a few years before she can fit into it, but
is this for the middle one?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
But although, I mean, the 11, 12-year-old, bad auntie, I don't remember if she's 11 or 12. They could probably share clothes. They're that
around
similar
in
size, yeah. But anyway, I am using, this is a Hoya. I can never say their name.
Oh, I always mess it up and call it La Jolla. So
Yeah. La Hoya.
La Hoya. We're bad Cubans.
Yes. This, I think the colorway was Scarlet Letter, but it's this like brilliant fuchsia berry color. I picked this up down at the beach to go with some spectrum fiber. I think this was actually called Sea Spray, so they kind of worked together nicely. My niece, my stomach's talking also today. My niece, I was told she likes funky colors, so
those aren't really funky.
She loves like aquas and teals
My
and
girl.
sea sprays. Yeah, so when I showed it to her, I like the pink on the front. I really
like the hot pink front.
She likes this side, which that's kind of the nice thing about brioche is it's reversible. So she can always wear it inside out if she wants to. I don't really care. Or I'll make it this
pattern comes through really nice on
here.
Here.
This is technically the right side of the pattern. It's really pretty. I really would love to knit myself one of these, but
it's a lot of knitting.
Even this mini version is a lot of brioche and yes, just a lot of knitting. So
I think it would be nice if you could figure out a way to do just the plain stockinette back panel with a brioche front.
Doable. I think the only thing is your gauge would be different. So like you would have to work the rate of joining like 2 stitches to every one on the brioche side or something. It would involve math. And
we don't do math in this family.
Well,
one of our brother does.
Yeah,
but
he got all of the math genes.
Yeah.
So anyway, I believe that ebook, the mini Woolen Pine patterns, come out in November 7th. Is it 7th or 4th? These patterns will be available soon, early November. I'll try to put it on the screen if I remember, what that date is. So moving right along to the next Woolen Pine portion.
Test knitting.
Test knitting. Yeah, so we both signed up to do the same test knit because we both really
like this pattern.
Yeah. So,
and Zoe was on the fence because she's been busy getting advents out the door, and I may or may not have
knit-fluenced me.
Twisted your arm into signing up.
She peer pressured me.
That's the word.
So this is their new pattern that will, again, it's either November, I think this one comes out November 4th.
I was going to 7th.
It's going to go on the screen.
Look at the week of November 4th for a lot of new patterns.
This is the Snowpine. So it's a really lovely fingering weight jumper with this all over fleece stitch. Here, you show yours first.
Oh, I was just going to say it's a top-down raglan.
And it also utilizes intarsia as well as color work.
And it's really interesting because you knit both flat and in the round at the same time.
Yes.
Well, in the round is a misnomer because you're joining it in the round at the end of every row, but technically
Right.
you're knitting the yoke flat.
So yeah, this is one of those things that someone describes to you, and unless you're actually doing it, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No, but it's one of those things that sounds a lot harder than it actually is to do.
Yes. So what you do is at this join, you're gonna knit a row, and you're juggling
5 balls
1, 2,
of
3,
yarn.
4, and then your 5th color work ball of yarn. You knit that section, swap your yarns to get to the green, swap your yarns again to get to the white, swap again to get to the green, and then at that point, that's when you flip it.
And you join the two sides together as you go.
That seam is the join.
Don't want to give away all of the secret sauce to the pattern, but...
Yeah, I kind of have one wonky join back here that maybe there's more than one.
This is my side my seam where they join, and when I wove in my ends, I kind of tightened up the seam, but I didn't want to do that too tightly because I didn't want it to like pull there. But everything else, I actually like the increase that they use for this.
On the side that increase row looks really
it's very
neat.
Clean.
I had one little wonky one, and I just came in with my end, and I don't know if I duplicate stitched or I just kind of wove in my end over it so that it looks neat enough. And this one end, I think, goes on your back corner.
Left.
So yeah, I am like 5 rows away from finishing the ribbing on the body of mine, and then sleeves.
I cast mine off 1 or 2 nights ago, and I needed a break from it. So I set it down, and
what yarn are you using?
So I am using this very yummy yarn.
It's quite soft and so I'm not like fondling your
It's okay, I'm fondling myself. I am using yarn from the Border Mill, which is yarn that I picked up at EYF in 2019. This particular vendor was on my list after doing extensive pre-event research.
Naomi was much more prepared than I was. I just went in and was like, I want this, I want this, I want that.
I had a color-coded map with like things circled. Like I knew there were vendors that like I absolutely wanted to buy yarn from before even like touching the yarn. I was like, oh, that sounds really cool and different. I'm definitely going to get something from there. And this was one of those vendors because the yarn itself is 50% alpaca.
Right.
50% rose fiber. So it's derived from rose bushes.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I was intrigued because apparently it's supposed to be really cool and breathable. So as someone who lives in Florida, I was like, sold. However, in hindsight, alpaca's still really warm to me.
Even 50%.
And I still cannot wrap my mind around it being a summer fiber because I know a lot of people have been using it in summer knitting. And the idea is it's supposed to breathe.
Maybe because it's drapey?
I think it's the same argument people make for wool being a summer fiber and that it self-regulates temperature and that what makes it a good insulator of heat makes it a good non-insulator of temperature. I don't buy it.
Yeah, wool is just warm to me. It's never been cool.
Same with alpaca. It is just warm to me. However, I think our winters are fairly mild, but it still gets chilly to the point where you want to wear a sweater for 2 to 3 months out of the year.
Yeah, that's good enough though.
Yes. So, I wanted to buy it for that reason. So I had originally bought this yarn for a completely different t-shirt. Got scared at the properties of this yarn, not knowing how it would behave because of the plant-based fiber. And I already knew alpaca was drapey.
Right.
And so it's just sat in my stash.
Until the perfect pattern
came along, and I was like,
Well, you also sent me like 18 different yarn combinations before you decided to cast on, so.
Yeah, and ultimately I was the happiest with this combo, and so I used roughly, I'm knitting the 43.5 inch bust, and all of my skeins are 50 gram skeins, so I only used 150 grams for this main color. I just weighed and split my other 50-gram skein that used 22 grams of the flea. And then, I figured I'll just go till the blue runs out with the black for each sleeve.
That'll be, I like the like throwback kind of retro baseball tee vibes that you get with this design. So I think, it would look cute with like three quarters or full length, whatever you're going to do with it.
And I knit mine with a little less ease than recommended because I do like, it's going to be like a tighter fitting blouse.
Yeah, and mine is, I'm doing the 49-inch bust with about 2 inches of positive ease, which I think was like the smallest amount that was recommended with the pattern. But to me, again, ease is always kind of more of a recommendation.
I think that's how you like your clothes to fit too. If you know you like something baggier, do more ease. And if you know you want something a little more form-fitting, do less.
Right. So I am using, the cream natural color is from Green Mountain Spinnery. It's just a natural undyed single ply yarn. It has a lot of veg matter in it. I've been picking it out as I go. But it's super soft and lanolin-y. It smells very sheepy
it's a little crunchy.
But it's not like scratchy.
No, I mean like,
yeah.
Because of the lanolin, it's got a little bit of a...
So I've had 2 skeins of this in my stash for a long time. When Mom went up to Vermont, she went to their mill and brought one back, and then I picked up a skein at SAFF later that year. So there was this, and then I had, for my sprinkles, some...
Yes, this flea stitch they're calling sprinkles.
Yes, sprinkles. It's cute. This is from Lobby Anime and the Retrosaria Mondime
mashup.
Yes, their collaboration. I think this was Smoky Quartz.
That sounds right.
Colorway. It's so pretty. I really debated long and hard using this skein as my sprinkles. But in the end, no, I love the way that it looks in here, but I'm greedy and I wanted to keep it for socks. And then I had just dyed up thrown in some Highland wool. So all of mine is non-superwash. I just threw these in the pot one day to soak up extra dye, and I wound up with these kind of like light sagey green.
It's got mint chocolate chip vibes.
Yes, like mint chocolate chip ice cream. It's kind of got some like yellow undertones. So yeah, I kind of figured, I know we both had some trouble picking out yarn colors, and that's because like you almost kind of wanted body and sleeves to be on the same color value, saturation value, because then your sprinkles are the contrast. Whereas if you got too contrasty on your sleeves,
mine is more high contrast.
Right.
So my sprinkle is very low contrast in the body and very high contrast on the sleeve.
So I thought that was an interesting aspect to picking out yarn for this pattern.
The other really nice thing about this pattern is, like for me, I was really trying to use it as an opportunity to use up the rando 2 skeiners in my stash.
Yeah, that came in handy for me as well.
Because with the body, you don't need as much for the body since the sleeves are a different yarn. And the sprinkles, you don't really need that much yarn for in total. Like I think my 50 grams will be more than enough to do all
the
your
whole
sprinkles.
sweater. I think so too. So yeah, this has been a super fun pattern. It was both of our first time doing intarsia,
which is way easier than you would think.
Yes.
It really is just twisting the yarns upon each other. The harder part was ball management.
I'm sorry. I know I'm like an 11-year-old boy.
I have been too. Every time I texted you the phrase juggling balls, I cracked up laughing.
So yeah, that was definitely the hardest part. Was like I sat down on the couch. This had its spot.
Yep.
The yarn did not move.
Yep.
I had kind of a system where they were all in order, and I literally just jumped them over each other every time I switched colors.
All of mine I kept to the right of me, and they had like an assigned position on the couch, and it just kind of...
I found that easier than what was recommended.
Which was detangling every 4 rows.
Right, which
makes my eye twitch.
Yeah, that would not have worked for me.
Can you tell we're control freaks?
We come by it honest, though. So anyway, yeah, I really enjoyed, or I'm still enjoying this pattern, I should say.
It's very potato chippy. It's just what you just want to see it grow and come together. And it's like, oh, I'll just do one more fleece stitch section. Oh, I'll just do one more repeat. And then next thing you know, it's 11:34.
Yes.
And you need to go to bed.
I go to
before
bed
work
anyway.
the next day.
So yeah, keep an eye out for the Snowpine pattern in the next few weeks.
Coming out early November.
Yes. All right, so I'm going to finish up my last whip that I'm going to share today. And then we'll do finished objects last. We'll change it up a little bit. So this is the progress that I have made on my Nightshift shawl. That is a pattern by Andrea Mowry. I don't know which side is up. It doesn't really matter, I guess.
Ooh, you almost took out my eyeball.
So yeah, this is how far I've gotten on my Nightshift. I think
I love your version.
That's where I was the last time I recorded. I love my version too.
I'll trade you. I'll take the purple back and you can have mine. Remember when we were younger and I used to steal things out of your closet?
Do I?
That might happen again. Look, it matches my sweater.
I think it matches me too, though. It matches my leggings. So yeah, I am using a bunch of Handspun yarn. This is all spun from fiber from Wound Up Fiber Arts. Y'all know she is like one of our favorites.
Yes.
So the first color combination that I used, well, first I used a little mini that I spun from some scrappy bits, and it started off with the s'mores colorway up at the top. Then I transitioned to using sugar plum with s'mores, and now this last color is early shadows. And so it's kind of moved from like browns into the burgundy pinky colors, into
mauves,
into some like purpley gray colors.
It's really pretty.
So yeah, like I feel like the way the pattern was designed, it's a lot more, most of them are a lot more like stripey sectioned looking, but I really like the way,
I love the subtle color shift.
I'm really happy with how that is turning out, and it's one of those ones that I'm like, I'm literally this close to being done with it. I just need to sit down, and the rows are getting a little bit long, not terrible.
They're still enjoyable, even though they're long though. I really liked knitting this pattern. Really, like to the point where I normally don't knit things twice. I am not a repeat knitter. But I would repeat knit this.
Well, and again, I want to make a shifty sweater. I have yarn set aside for that. I even like, I'm not normally a cowl person, but I think I would even enjoy knitting the cowl version
really pretty as well.
So yeah, the Nightshift, and I think it would make a really cute like blanket.
I think it'd be great. Like sofa. It's not a pillow.
Afghan throw,
words. I've been up a long time, so
that's all right.
I've been misspeaking pretty much all morning long since I got here.
I normally don't have anyone to talk to all day long, so this is like above and beyond my amount of socializing for the day.
You're welcome.
So anyway, yes, that's my Nightshift. I love it, and I agree. I really enjoyed spinning the yarn and then knitting it like immediately, so I could see that happening again in my future as well. It was also really fun to spin something heavier than a fingering weight. I don't know, that's my default, I think, because I like to knit socks out of my Handspun, but yeah, not a ton to say other than I really love it.
Stay here as my lap again.
Okay, I only have one other whip to share with you guys right now, and this is my outline tee by Jessie Mae Martinson. I think the last time that I showed this off, because it's been a while, I was ready to frog it, so it probably looks exactly the same, because I think I have knit almost as much as I had last time before I frogged it. So this is
Ritual Dye Works.
Yes, Ritual Dyes in their Undine base.
Linen and cotton?
Yeah, I believe it's 50-50 linen and cotton. I don't have a label up here with me.
Also feels a little crunchy, which it'll soften with wear and use and washing.
I was gonna say, after frogging it and reknitting it, it was a lot softer the second time around, even without washing it. So I talked about last time how knitting bottom up was really hard for me to gauge how much body length I need, because I'm well endowed. I generally need more fabric to cover my, what's the proper word? Bust. I was like, not chest.
Her bubbies.
Yes. Stop it. So, sorry. This last little bit wound around this ball would mean that I have knit everything that I knit the first time around.
But you're knitting it smaller.
I am. I went down 2 whole pattern sizes because it was turning out way too big around and way too short. The first time I did not helical knitting, but I was alternating the skeins. This time around, I said, screw it. Because I don't think they really need to be alternated, even though they're hand-dyed. It's fairly solid. Uniform. Yeah, none of the skeins really stand out from each other. So, yeah, I'm going to finish doing this little last chunk of yarn for the body, and that should give me a good 10 inches of... Get your mind out of the gutter.
You're welcome.
You know, our mother watches this, just FYI.
Oh, I know. I'm good. I'm good.
Yes.
I'm good.
Naomi's spicing it up over here. So yes, outline tee. Once I have reached the body length that I'm comfortable with, I'm hoping for 10 inches. Then I will move on to doing the front. I'm not sure if it's one panel, because it's a V-neck. I mean, it's got to be at some point. It might be all one piece until you split.
Yeah, that's.
And then the back panel, and then you seam it together. So bottom, top up, bottom up.
Bottom up.
Bottom up is
top up. What am I?
Top down, bottom up. Bottom up is not my preferred method for making a garment, but I'm trying. I'm giving it a go.
I think I do like one a year.
Yeah, I mean,
it's about my limit.
It's good to try different things, but for the most part, this has all just been stocking it in the round, because once you're done, that's when all the detailing comes in and the drop stitches. You drop stitches to make the outline detail, yes. Hence the name.
No, it'll go quick once you divide. Mm-hmm. That is the one thing about bottom up. I always think it's going to take forever after you divide, but it actually goes really fast.
I'm kind of torn on if I want to knit on this right now. It's kind of low priority because this is more of a summer top, and it's finally getting cool here, and I don't really foresee myself actually wearing this until the spring. So I'm okay with it kind of chilling out and maybe getting done over the winter, and I'll have it, you know, ready to go in the spring.
And I would just want it done. That way when the spring comes, it's like, let me get my fresh knit out. Well, never worn before. And if things linger in my house, they don't get finished.
Oh, so that's not a problem here. They'll get done when they get done.
If they sit for too long, they end up like my penguano.
Which met a bitter end.
Rest in peace, Penguano. 2017 to 2021. You were on the needles.
This one here.
Now it's composting. Not even. Mostly. It's not in my compost bin, but it'll compost
somewhere.
Yes. On the Great Pacific Garbage Patch.
Hopefully not. Probably get buried underground somewhere.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yes. Anyways, so that's it for whips. I am wearing my finished object. We're breaking tradition and doing finished objects last, I suppose.
Breaking Bad.
I finished my Cozy Classic Light, another pattern by Jessie Mae Martinson. So this is your basic top-down raglan sweater in a fingering weight yarn on size 5 needles, I believe. So I've talked about in the past, I'm looking at it off camera, I wear my other basic raglan pullover a lot, and that one is a DK weight, so I wanted something very similar but in a light fingering weight.
It's really pretty.
I love the simple raglan increases here. It's just so basic and simple. I feel like
elegance.
It's different from a lot of other raglan increases.
It looks like a slip stitch.
It has to do with the way that you make the increases on both sides. I don't remember what the trick was now because I knit the actual like top portion back in like May, like 6 months ago. So yeah, this is one of those projects that I work on for 2 or 3 weeks, and then it would go back into hibernation, and then I would work on it again. So the last time I pulled it out, I think I was at the very bottom of the body. I did a whip inventory a few weeks ago, and all this needed was another sleeve. So
I sat down. Tell them about the yarn.
Sorry, I'll get there. Yeah, I sat down and knocked out a sleeve and like, you leave my stomach alone. It's going.
So you may see more.
We might have a little bit of hunger delirium happening over here too.
So you got a drop sleeve stitch?
No, it's just where I did. That's my end woven in there.
You sure?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes, that's where I was magic looping.
Okay.
And my end is woven in.
Sorry.
You 2 days to knock out a sleeve. Yes. So I used my own hand-dyed yarn. Felicity Yarn Studio. This is a colorway that I dyed up for last year's advent calendars that were all Impressionist painting inspired. So this colorway was inspired by
Woman at the Loom.
Yes, Woman at the Loom is the name of the painting. It's got all my favorite colors. I'll take some close-up video and put it in.
Really pretty.
Yeah, like just soft touches of peach and blue and little purple pops.
The peach is borderline like what's like a clay color almost. It's really pretty.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite colors that I dyed last year. So it is now a shop regular. I have some in the store on Etsy. But I did do helical alternating of the skeins. I actually think I did it even through the increases. Like when I got close to them, I would just kind of slip enough to get past those increases because it doesn't really make a huge difference. But then on the sleeves, I did also alternate. I wasn't going to a lot of times on sleeves. I find that I don't really need to, but I felt like I should based off of the first few inches of knitting. But on the sleeves, I just did where you literally bring the strand you were just working with forward and then bring the other one back.
Once again, something that sounds more complicated till you're actually doing it.
And it doesn't sound like it makes that big of a difference, or I mean, you can kind of see your tension's a little off.
Of intarsia.
Maybe, I don't know. But I found it worked pretty well for the sleeves. It was the simplest way, rather than carrying the yarn up the inside. I liked this better. So yeah, I love my Cozy Classic Light.
It's really cute.
I've knit quite a few basic raglan patterns, and I think the only one that I haven't done yet is the flax,
which I have.
Or flax light. So I think I need to knit a flax and then sit down and do a raglan comparison and contrast kind of pattern review. I think that would be a
I really like the fit of my flax. Well, and I like, we were just talking about this before we sat down, which is, in general, I really like the fit of raglans compared to yoked sweaters. And I don't know if it's just because of the way it the way it distributes the increases as you go, or just it's a little bit easier to hold up and gauge where your armpit should be when you divide.
I think you have a little bit more room for interpretation and like customizing your fit.
Yes.
Versus like a yoke, you have to get through X number of increases to get to the correct stitch count before you divide.
Which I really like this sweater. This is the Prismatic by Wool and Pine. If you'd like to hear all the juicy details about it, you can go over to my channel and watch episode 39. Can't believe I remembered all of that.
Can't either.
Which I like this, but all of the increases for the entire yoke happen before you start the color work. So we were talking like you kind of get this weird bunching effect, which it kind of looks like the sleeves have like a puff sleeve.
I feel like my Jupiter crop does that too.
Versus other color work yokes, a lot of them work increases in here where it distributes out more across the bust.
Like, I think my Soldatna is the best yoke color work.
Fit.
Yeah.
Yes, I would agree with that. Even if it has whatever color issues people took umbrage with.
I didn't have those problems. But
I think the issue with that pattern is her photo. It's a very high neck on the collar, but most people, when you knit it, it's more like
I like it
this.
lower.
I don't want it choking me. Yeah. So
interesting. Well, and another thing that I just thought about with this one is I liked that on the underarm that I only had 6 stitches underneath here.
Kind of cinches it in a little bit more.
I don't know why there's always like you got to pick up and knit like 12 stitches or something crazy on the under. I don't know. It always seems like too much. I always feel like it could be closer.
I usually don't pick up that many, but I know I knit smaller sizes.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's
maybe that's part of it. I don't know.
Sizing issue. I don't grade patterns.
Yeah.
And I don't do math.
Nope. Aesthetically, yes, I can like break down a pattern, but like details and like analytics of a pattern,
the engineering of it, no. Well, I mean, I could figure out how it was made, but not the math behind the sizing.
I mean,
the grading.
Technically, yes, we could do it, but do we want to do it? Would we enjoy doing it?
Nope.
Oh, you got a finished object, don't you?
I do. I have a very exciting corner to corner baby blanket.
Baby.
So I brought this with me because I just knew I had to finish. I was in the yellows when I got on the plane, and this was my plane knitting. And it is...
This is going to the same baby, right?
This is going to the same baby that's getting this baby.
That'll be a cute
little Theo. It's going to get this. We both really like the name Theodore, which is what young Theo was named, obviously.
Young Theo.
Baby Theo.
Yes. It's a cute name.
Yes. This is a Padder cake, Padder cake from Sidar. It's acrylic and cotton, but mostly acrylic, I think.
I have no idea. That was the ice maker.
Oh.
Naomi keeps hearing all of our old house noises.
I mean, I have an old... My house is older than yours. It's just...
True. This one's just big and creaky.
Yeah, I'm just not used to your house's noises. So this is a free pattern on the internet somewhere.
Isn't that the, like, essentially the grandma's favorite dishcloth pattern?
I found it on Ravelry, but then I went to the internet link to someone's blog, and it was
That's what it looks like to me.
Corner to corner. Yeah, you cast on 3, 5. Basically, you do a yarn over.
Yeah.
Until you're done, and then you do
decreases.
Knit 2 together with a yarn over with another knit 2 together. I did run out of yarn on the plane, and Zoe gave me some acrylic so I could finish it because I didn't want to rip it back.
So when my nieces were here, I took them for a couple afternoons, and to entertain them, I busted out. They wanted to learn how to knit and crochet, and I love them, and we tried crochet a couple times, and they get it, but we don't have enough time, and like they don't have enough attention span to like get it. But anyway, we busted out the pom-pom maker, and that was hours of entertainment for 2 little girls. So I actually gifted them like the majority of my acrylic stash to take with them and cover their house in yarn clippings. So yeah, the gray was like the last thing left.
A little bit
in my
left
stash.
over, but it works.
Sure.
I think it's
not
a sure.
Sure, it works.
Like it's fine.
It's cute.
No, it's cute, and you know what? It's gonna go in the washing machine and the dryer, and it's gonna get all manner of baby fluids on it. And
don't say that.
It's the truth. And yeah, it's fine.
Yes.
Mom is not going to be like, why'd you join that gray in there?
Yeah, like she's even going to know.
I think she'll be happy because she went to UNC, which is University of North Carolina. So it's got some Carolina blue in it.
Yes.
She gave me a hard time when we bought our Subaru, our old car.
Oh, because it's Duke blue.
It was Duke blue, and she was like, ugh, you bought a Duke blue car.
It's Subaru blue, though.
It's World Rally blue. It's the official color name. Marry a car nut, learn these random Subaru facts.
Same. Also, my husband is a UNC fan, so he would probably agree with poo-pooing. Even though that's his, like, favorite shade of blue.
That dark blue.
Yeah, or, like, royal blue.
Yeah.
Which, if we're watching sports and he has nothing invested, and it's, like, a blue team versus a red or yellow team,
he picks the blue team.
He will pull for the blue team, yes.
That's pretty bad.
Yes.
But, yeah. The World Rally blue is like...
No, that's like
the
classic,
Subaru
iconic.
color.
Yeah.
Yes. So anyways, yeah, she gave me a hard time for my Duke blue car. But whatever. I loved that car and I miss it deeply. I also miss my friend, but I really miss... I'm just kidding.
About missing your friend or your car?
Neither.
Oh, Lord. Oh, so another fun niece story that is kind of fiber related. So when they walked in the living room, Olivia, the one that I'm making broadleaf for, she was like, Aunt Zoe, what is that? And pointed at my spinning wheel. And I was like, all right, come on. So I pulled out some fiber, pulled out a fun sparkly blue bat, and I let her pedal. She really just wanted to pedal. Like,
that's all she was into.
Yes. I was like, all right, I'll do the hand part. You can pedal. So she was just like super entranced. And then Lily, the older one, of course, then had to come over and do it too. And she kind of got both motions going at one point. But then at that point, though, then they both wanted to do it together, and it was just like,
don't break my wheel.
They weren't going too crazy with it, but I did just kind of like, I was like, here, yeah, just go, and they weren't really doing anything. So there's a super like
kinky coiled.
Yeah, and I'm like, I can probably just let it relax and get a lot of that twist out of there, and
it's art yarn.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish spinning up the bat, and I told them I would make them something out of it.
Put it in the tapestry loom that I brought you.
Yes,
and weave it.
So yeah, of course, part of Naomi coming up was an exchange,
annual swap of stuff.
We don't have any of it down here, but yeah, Naomi brought me a little
tapestry
loom and some fiber.
So where I work, the museum I work at, hence the name, we partner with the Weavers Guild in the county, and they had their member sale last weekend. God, that feels like like a lifetime ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of fiber, a lot of equipment, etc. And
It looked like a good time from the pictures I got.
it was a great day at work for me.
It sounds like a good day, yeah.
So yeah, I kind of pre-shopped the day before. I had VIP access because they came in a day early to set up. So I perused
Insider
the tables.
access.
I got the keys.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I got a yardage counter winder thing.
Cool.
Yeah, and so we got a tapestry loom for
You got some fiber.
whopping. I got a little bit of fiber. I got a couple bats for $5.
That's not bad.
A picora.
Mm.
And I almost brought you one, but then I was greedy.
You can keep it. I've got fiber coming out of the wazoo here.
Me too. But there was a little small tapestry loom for like $8. So I scooped that up. Yeah. I spent $76, but 50 of it was just for that yardage counter.
Wow.
But it regular retails for like $2.50.
So how does that work?
What do you mean?
Do you use it like winding off your bobbin?
I think you can use it winding off your bobbin like while you go onto the nitty naughty. Or you could wind off your bobbin
onto a Swift.
Onto a Swift or onto a ball winder. You could go ahead and cake it and
know what you have. Okay.
Yeah.
So I would be curious to find out if my calculations, like, because I count my wraps on my nitty naughty to get my approximate yardage. Yeah.
Because that's the thing with Handspun. I'm always like, it's roughly 200 yards. And I always round down.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd be interested to know more accurately.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Especially since we've got some big jumper spinning in the back burner right now.
In the future, next year.
Yes. Yeah. So I don't know. Do you have anything else?
Not with me. Well, or maybe if we do some vloggy style footage, you may spy another finished object that has not yet appeared on my pod.
Yeah. So I think I don't know if I take any footage through the rest of the weekend. I'll put it at the end of the episode. So yeah, that's what the last few weeks I have been packing up advent calendars. I have 2 left here, but they're odd men out for 2 different reasons. But everybody else's advent calendars have shipped. That is part of why I felt like I couldn't record until I got advent calendars out the door. I wanted
your house back.
Yeah, I wanted that off of my plate. So, yes, your calendars have all shipped, and thank you to everyone who has purchased and supported my little shop. I am going to be...
I was going to say, as chief advent consultant, I can say all of the colors this year are...
Yes, they were all Georgia O'Keeffe painting inspired colorways. So, I really enjoyed dyeing them up. I do not enjoy packing them all up, but that is part of the bargain. Naomi did not come help this year. I did them all by myself.
I came last year and helped pack, didn't I?
Yes. Yeah, because last year there was no yarn festival. It was just pack yarn.
It was just hang out.
Yeah. I will be dyeing up some Christmas sock sets in the next week or 2. I feel a little bit behind for Christmas colorways, but that's next on my shop agenda. And then
I want to steal your tube of last year's Christmas colorway yarn.
Oh, that's a shop regular.
I know, I just want to steal the actual tube.
Oh, well.
Of cranked yarn. I'll be taking this.
You can have half
a couple
of it.
Sock tubes.
You can have some of the sock. Some of the sock tubes are for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's acceptable.
Yes.
As well as this.
Y'all see what I gotta put up with.
A little sisterine since 19.
Yeah, don't call us both out. All right, I think we should go ahead and wrap it up since we're rambling along here. So if you like this video, of course, don't forget to thumbs up, like, subscribe, leave us a comment down below. What have y'all been up to? What have you been knitting lately? Are you going to any yarn festivals this year? That's what I want to know.
That's what I was going to
Who's
ask.
going? And where are you going? What are you go? I'm rambling.
Oh, I was going to say, have you tried anyone to knit or resorted to a pom-pom maker?
Hey, it worked. They loved it. They were very enthused about the pom-pom maker. So, all right, guys. So I'll be back in a few weeks.
I'll be back soonish
on her channel. And again, keep an eye out for some Snowpine finished object videos, and we will see you again soon. So, bye.
Whatever you want to do. It's your episode.
So yeah, I have the body to finish.